There are cameras here, please. Please. I'll be speaking here and you'll be reading a newspaper. I'm going to resign because we performed bad. I won't do that. It's not a penny. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah. I'm in charge. I'm in charge. That must be very clear. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere in terms of politics. I'm not going anywhere in terms of health. I'm not going anywhere in terms of age. Ours. What did the Deputy President of the EFF say to the leadership of the EFF? He brought his financial statement. And we looked at the financial statement. We went through the financial statement. We cannot locate.
We call on the National Director of Public Prosecutions to stop the political persecution of political opponents, because such will further weaken the credibility of the National Prosecutions Authority. We further note that the EFF will continue to pursue its fight against corruption without fear of intimidation or parliament-sanctioned violence by the police and parliamentary security services.
SABC understands that the economic freedom fighters will announce leadership changes of the party at midday today. Now, several highly placed sources have confirmed to SABC News that EFF Deputy President Floyd Shivambu has indicated his intention to resign from the party.
This just keeps getting interesting. Whilst others are being charged with corruption, we have a politician whom we've thought he'd be loyal to his party filing for resignation. Who would have thought that Floyd Shivambu would decide to resign from the economic freedom fighters? Despite him and Julius Malema being close from a while ago, there actually has been a bad blood between them, which we'll look into as we cover the full details behind Floyd Shivambu's resignation. Floyd Shivambu has served as the Deputy President of EFF since 2013, and him and Malema has been close buddies for a while. After this year's election, we've noticed that the EFF slipped from the third largest party to the fourth position, overtaken by the sudden rise of Jacob Zuma's party called Umkhonto weSizwe. And this has basically led to rifts within the EFF's leadership structure. Shivambu didn't take this loss well.
Forward. So the attempt for unification is not just an opportunistic one because there were electoral declines of the EFF and all of those things. It's a genuine political discussion, which all South Africans must enter into, those who are in favor of the revolution. Because revolution is the content of what we're standing for. It's not just, no, if it's me, you are betraying me. You know, some people will say, you are betraying me. Where does that enter? And you don't even once suggest that I'm betraying the revolution. I will never betray the revolution. Because we're not in the business of trying to please each other's egos here. We're in the business of building a revolutionary movement that is going to emancipate the black majority and Africans in particular, and we're unapologetic about that. That is what we stand for. And President Zuma, when he was inducting all of us yesterday, he says that we might be friends and we might think we're friends, but friendship won't apply here. If you do not do these things right, you're going to be taken care of appropriately. Some people...
The President was saying the EFF is us. It's something that we have built from nothing. You know, it's not something that you just, you know, wake up one day and walk away
Which
from.
is why Julius Malema feels so betrayed by Floyd Shivambu. I mean, even yesterday he said, even last week he said, this is someone who helped co-found this organization.
Absolutely.
Do you see it in your view as a betrayal when you look at someone like Floyd who helped build this organization, as you say, from nothing? Do you see it as a betrayal? Because Julius Malema last night says this is someone who's gone for his own political gains.
Well, you know what, the relationship particularly between those two is well known. I mean, I represented them in 2012 in the ANC disciplinary hearing. And even then, coming from the Youth League, and as he said last week, it was not just a friendship, it was a brotherhood. So it's almost like, as I said, losing somebody who's close to you, or a divorce, or some other loss of that sort. So those kinds of losses either go with a lot of sadness, which is something we felt, or a feeling of betrayal.
Is that how you feel?
In the sense, well, to the extent that we were not taken into the confidence, I do feel that way. I feel that... and by the way, there's something strange where I've changed about how I feel about it, because last week I was of the view that maybe what the former deputy president should have done is wait until the conference, address all of us and explain himself. But over the weekend I thought about it and I think I was wrong. He was right to do, the minute he felt that he was no longer with us, he took the right decision to then go.
But he didn't explain why, because even Julius last night says, I asked him, what did I do?
No, he did explain. He didn't, of course, he didn't say, when you're saying that, you are assuming that the problem was with the president of the EFF. He explained it in his letter.
MK party, because a lot of people have thought about what it means for the EFF. But we need to look at it from the perspective of the MK to get a true understanding of why they wanted Shivambu and why Shivambu wanted them. So let's look at that. I think this is an absolute coup for the MK party. Probably the biggest move they have made since they announced that they were running for this election. That's how big I think it is. And here are the reasons. What does the MK party need right now, and what is it being criticized for? It's being criticized because it doesn't have a proper organizational backbone, and it doesn't have a true intellectual center. And what I mean by that is that it doesn't have the kind of policy documents, the constitution, the stuff that backs up the political rhetoric, right, which is key for any political party. Floyd Shivambu, what is he brilliant at? Politically, he's brilliant at that, building the intellectual fiber of a political party, right? So as far as I understand, Shivambu was central to the EFF constitution. He was central to drafting policies. If you trace his political career back to the Youth League, at some point he was the spokesperson and he was the head of policy and various other things. So he knows how to draft the documents that become the bedrock of a political party, which MK doesn't yet have, right? And going into conferences, etc., how to make sure that things tick over, and there are always discussion documents, etc., for those conferences as well. So the key organizational design stuff, on the one hand, but also the intellectual, the charting of a political vision. And once again, you may disagree with that vision, but the EFF was able to articulate a very clear, very direct, different vision for the country, which had to do with land, which had to do with nationalization, etc. And Shivambu was at least a key player in developing.
Kwa